Is it? Could it be? Are we actually seeing the NHL give some love to the Montreal Canadiens? We had ourselves, earlier today, the 3 stars of the week awarded to 2 Canadian team players and Sergei Bobrovsky of the Florida Panthers. What I wanted to do was go over the week that was, talk about these 3 guys, as well as go over that first star of the week, because there are some big rumors going on about Jacob Markstrom of the Calgary Flames that I do think we need to address. But before we go out there and talk about those, let's talk about the 3 stars conversation, starting with the 3rd star, Nick Suzuki of the Montreal Canadiens, who had himself 4 goals, 2 assists for 6 total points in 3 games played. Let's scroll out there and read what the article has to say. Suzuki factored in on 6 of Montreal's 9 goals across 3 games to top the NHL with 6 points as the Habs went 1-2-0. Yeah, that's kind of sad, isn't it? He was the top scorer in the NHL in the past week, but his team still lost most of their games. He registered 2 goals and 1 assist for 3 points, his second 3-point performance of the season, in a 5-2 win against the Washington Capitals on February 6th. Suzuki then posted a goal and an assist in a 3-2 loss to the Dallas Stars February 10th, before scoring one of Montreal's 2 goals in a 7-2 defeat versus the Blues yesterday. The 24-year-old Suzuki, another 2024 All-Star participant, paces the Canadiens with 17 goals and 31 assists for 48 points in 52 games this year. So Suzuki is right under a point per game. If you do the math, 48 divvy 52 multiplied out by 82, that's on pace for about 76 points, which is in line with what we have seen out of his production this season. He's been pretty good, all things considered. And look, there's no reason for Nick Suzuki, knock on wood, of course, bearing any injuries, to go out there and not hit the 60-point marker for the 3rd time straight in his career. He's been a fine lad. So, 3rd star of the week honors, very much deserved. Good to see the NHL giving the Canadiens their dues. But if you go over to the 2nd star of the week, Sergei Bobrovsky went 2-0 with 1 shutout this prior 7 games. Bob, who earlier this month participated in his 2nd NHL All-Star game, denied 56 of the 58 shots he had faced, compiling a 2-0 record, a 1 goals against average, a .966 save percentage, and 1 shutout to propel the Panthers within 3 points of first place in the Atlantic Division and the Eastern Conference. He made 21 saves, including 12 in the first period, in a 4-2 triumph against the Washington Capitals February 8th. The 35-year-old Bobrovsky then earned his 41st career shutout with 35 stops in a 4-0 victory over the Avalanche. By the way, those Avs really stepping down from their top-of-the-league dominance-worthy prosperity. Getting shut out by the hands of Sergei Bobrovsky. What a trip going out there. The 2-time Vezina winner has played in 38 games this season with a 25-10-2 record, a 2.43 goals against, and a .913 save percentage, plus 3 shutouts. Ranking among the league leaders in wins, he's 3rd, shutouts tied for 4th, and goals against average, he is 6th, with a minimum of 18 games played. While Bobrovsky has had his up and downs in Florida, he's certainly on one of the highs right now, and this 3 stars of the week nom for the past week definitely epitomizes that. And then, of course, you have the number 1 guy, Jacob Markstrom, who guided Calgary to 3 straight road victories coming out of the All-Star break, going 3-0 with a 2 goals against average and a .939 save percentage to lift the Flames within 3 points of the final playoff spot in the West. He made 21 saves in a 4-1 triumph over the Bruins. Man, the Bruins, dude, that was Andrei Kuzmenko's debut game, so we've been talking a little bit about them. They've been hot. They beat Boston on the hands of Jacob Markstrom, and he then turned aside 37 shots, capped by 15 in the 3rd period in a 5-3 win against the New Jersey Devils. He closed the week with 35 saves, including 16 in the 3rd period in a 5-2 victory over the Islanders February 10th. The 34-year-old Markstrom, who has won a season-high 4 consecutive starts dating back to January 27th, owns a 17-13-2 record, a 2.54 goals against, a .915 save percentage, and 2 shutouts through 32 total appearances. So while Jacob Markstrom's numbers haven't been as good as Bobrovsky's on the year, the NHL is saying that, hey, Marky had the better week because he had 3 games played, he had all the wins, even though Bobrovsky in his 2 games against Colorado and Washington did have technically the better number, but of course, you know, a 4-0 shutout against Colorado was going to help you in that respect. Bobrovsky and Markey were the 2 stars of the week, plus Nick Suzuki, who was number 3. But with the Jacob Markstrom conversation in full flight, I wanted to turn your attention to this article on NewJerseyHockeyNow.com that talks about Jacob Markstrom and why we didn't see a Markstrom Devils trade. According to Elliot Friedman, the potential trade between the Devils and Flames came to a halt due to dollars and cents. By the way, Mr. Nichols, go out there and edit this article, please. It says CME instead of came. Let's go out there and read the latest update from Elliot Friedman from the 32 Thoughts podcast in response to all these rumors about Jacob Markstrom and the New Jersey Devils. Take a look at this. I think that the Devils and Flames have awkwardly been looking at each other. I just heard it got pretty serious. I've talked before about this on the podcast, about how the Flames have only kept money once. I believe that deal was the David Rittich to Toronto trade. That was a deal that had no term. Again, I think the surest predictor of future events is past events. Teams know the Flames are not crazy about this idea of a Jacob Markstrom trade. I do believe that it's a major hurdle, and probably the major hurdle. As for the Devils, Nichols writes here that it makes sense for Tom Fitzgerald to be hesitant acquiring a 34-year-old goaltender without the Flames eating some of the cap hit. However, it also makes sense that Calgary doesn't want to eat a portion of Markstrom's salary, given the fact that he has 2 years remaining on his deal following this season. The more interesting tidbit is that Friedman believes the Devils and Flames were actually close on what a trade package would have been. I think the package, they were closer on that. I'm not 100% sure, Friedman said, but I think they were closer on that. It wasn't perfect, but I heard the retention was the much bigger problem. I've had people tell me it's fallen apart, it's over, but I don't know that. I don't like to say that because I've learned in this business that just because something is true one day, it doesn't mean it's true the next day. So, money seems to have been the major holdup in these Jacob Markstrom to New Jersey Devils talks. He is making $6 million a year till the end of 25-26 at 34 years old. While he has been good this season with his .915 save percentage, he has been a pretty inconsistent goalie, I would say, year in and year out in the Calgary system. I mean, his start was subpar, but then he had a really good bounce-back year, and then he was subpar again last year, and now he's good again. It's literally bad, good, bad, good, bad, good for Markstrom, which is a pattern we've seen only recently. In his Vancouver days, he was consistently a 9-10 plus goaltender, which, look, I'm very grateful to say because he wasn't really like the most consistent there either. He would definitely let up a few flubs here and there, which is why he never got any shutouts with the Canucks, especially when you consider like the caliber of the team the Canucks were at that time. But still, Jacob Markstrom is having a good season. It's just for the New Jersey Devils, who have been so bad in net this year, you got to start asking yourselves, is Jacob Markstrom the guy to really make your team take that next step? I mean, Elliot Friedman is saying that the rumors indicate it was close, but never really came to fruition because of the lack of salary retention. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions about this entire Jacob Markstrom New Jersey update? Do you think it's actually going to go down? Do you think things still have a chance of turning around? What are your thoughts on Markey getting named the first star of the week, alongside of Sergei Bobrovsky and Nick Suzuki following shortly after? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.